Bonjour. Alors, ça y est. Ah! Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce bordel? Non! Attendez. Ça y est, il y a encore un truc qui est pété. Fuck. Attendez, attendez, c'est tout pété et mon OBS c'est pas pété. Alors attendez, il y a... Bonjour. Alors attendez, VTube Studio. VTube Studio a décidé de... Pourquoi? Alors... Why? Why? Pourquoi? Merci. Ah, ça me va. Merci, ça me va bien. Alors attendez, pour une obscure raison, mon VTube Studio ne s'est pas lancé. J'aimerais comprendre pourquoi. Ça va arriver. Alors, du coup, aujourd'hui, le temps que mon avatar arrive, nous sommes aujourd'hui, du coup, avec Monsieur Drak Gamestein, qui est donc, du coup, créateur de contenu sur Final Fantasy XIV. Ah, merci! Ça y est, j'ai pop. Du coup, vous aurez les sous-titres qui seront affichés en haut pour le concernant. De notre côté, vous n'aurez pas... Oups. Vous n'aurez pas... Enfin, de mon côté plutôt, vous n'aurez pas tout simplement... vous n'aurez pas tout simplement de, de traduction. Voilà, malheureusement. Je ne sais pas pourquoi ça ne fonctionne pas. Donc du coup, là, je vous fais la petite présentation, tout ça. Tout le live va se faire en anglais. Donc du coup, désolé pour ceux qui ne parlent pas anglais énormément. Vous pourrez regarder la vidéo, probablement en... elle sera mise correctement par la suite. Mais donc voilà, sachez que je suis terriblement stressé, mais qu'on va passer un bon moment en fait. Enfin, j'ose espérer qu'on va passer un bon moment. Et puis de toute façon, voilà. Voilà. En fait, voilà. Donc, vous pourrez vous poser les questions dans le chat, bien évidemment, si vous en avez. Bon, l'objectif d'aujourd'hui, c'est de parler justement Final Fantasy XIV et notre voyage sur Final Fantasy XIV. Comment on a connu le jeu, comment on l'a découvert, et qu'est-ce qui nous a fait rester dessus, et justement ce qu'on va proposer dessus. Avant toute chose, du coup, je vais laisser la parole à mon invité en le reprenant, parce que vous l'écoutez pas, mais il va pas tarder à arriver. J'espère que vraiment les sous-titres vont fonctionner. Et puis voilà, je vais le laisser se présenter, puis on partira sur les sujets intéressants. So, I'm back to you.
I'm here.
Yeah. So I introduce you about for I make a quick introduction about who you are, but I think the best one will be to let yourself introduce.
Gladly. I am Drak Gamestein. I'm a Final Fantasy XIV content creator. I do YouTube primarily. I also do Twitch. I'm trying to branch out into places like TikTok and whatnot for my shorts. And yeah, I'm been doing this for about 10 years. Much like Arthur was saying on his own, I started this because I didn't see anything on YouTube at the time for comedy, for humor stuff around Final Fantasy XIV. So I found a niche that I could fill, and then posted it onto the subreddit, and everything else is history.
And now, how many people do follow you on Twitch or YouTube? I don't remember exactly the number.
Let me see here. I don't know if that's accurate in your chat. It looks like about 38,000, almost 39,000 on Twitch are following, and then about 77,000 people on on YouTube. Sorry.
Oh, kind of big community. How many years have you been doing it?
Yeah, about 10 years.
Already? Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been 10 years. I started right before my oldest was born. So I use her as my measure.
The reference point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So first question, and even though I already asked my first question, but you know, the first question that I have, and or at least I don't remember, how did you discover Final Fantasy XIV?
Well, it all started from Final Fantasy 11 back in 2007, I think, for me. 2006, 2007. No, it would be earlier than that, probably 2005. And I maybe even earlier. It was right before I got into high school. I saw an advertisement for Final Fantasy 11, and I thought it was just like the coolest thing that you could get online and actually play with other people. That all these avatars, all these people running around were actual other people, and that was just this magical concept back in the day. World of Warcraft wasn't even out yet. So it was something that I wasn't familiar with. I think there were other games that had done it before, but I wasn't much on the computer at the time, so I didn't know. Anyway, that was really cool. So I got my PS2, convinced my parents to help me get the uh, adapter, the USB, not USB, the Ethernet adapter for the PS2. Got the big old thing for Final Fantasy 11 and just started playing it. And then over time, people were talking about, oh yeah, they're doing a new MMO. It's 14, and we're gonna start making a link shell over there. And that when I checked it out, it didn't have very good reviews. So I stopped. I didn't go into it because I was in college at the time, and I uh, I didn't have the money to spare on something that wasn't going to be good. So I was like, I'll just hold on to my funds. And then after a bit, they redid it. And once The Realm Reborn was coming out, I started in the beta and tried that out because I think another friend of mine had started playing as well. And they're like, oh yeah, you should play with us, or I forget exactly how I started into 14 because I joined Lamia because of them. Anyway, I got onto it. I was playing it, and then yeah, just same thing. I really enjoyed the atmosphere. I love online games. I like playing with other people. I like the atmosphere of having other people around and just like a living fantasy world. Basically, it was very novel for me. Still is, and yeah. So that's the long and short of it.
Did you play on the point O?
No, no, that's when I looked into it. I did some research and looked at reviews, and they were like, this game is bad. So I was like, I don't have a lot of money to spare right now, so I'm going to save it for something that isn't bad.
For the fun fact, I know that I when it was like the precedent fun festival, I think it was on 2024, when the we I am part of a group, a French group that we try to like to make a group for the FF14 content, which is the uh, Nexus Ethereum. So it's basically the Ethereum Nexus, uh, which allow different creator, French creator content of Final Fantasy 14 to do stuff together, especially during FanFest, Live Letter, etc., etc. We are like two or three each time to cover the different PLL or things like Fan Festival. So we had this discussion about the point O. Some of us played during this point O, and I'm one of them. But for the fact, my PC literally crashed
Mm.
trying to launch the opening cinematics. It was kind of fun. Now with the when I compare actually so to before, I was like, I'm just a Final Fantasy 14 enjoyer, but clearly at this time it wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, I heard it was rough for a lot of people, where it was a lot of Final Fantasy 11's systems
Yeah.
with menus and all that, but just done worse.
The horrible part was the sleep system. I don't recall how it was, but the game uh, at that time tells you if you want XP, you need to log out. And I was like, oh, okay. So I think on my end, I really returned on the game during, I think it's Tom Blood expansion.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gone back to the game after a really long time, and a nice transition because you already started to say it, but what makes you like and stay on the game?
Yeah, it's my friends, people to play with. I don't do random stuff quite as much. I think that it's a little too convenient, and that's like another conversation to have about the balance in modern MMOs of convenience versus immersion. So before you like having to meet up somewhere to get into a raid, something small like that, it was inconvenient, but it made the world feel alive. It made you feel like you were a part of something. You saw the community. So like our raids going to, what was the first one for Coil? It was the Wineport, and then we had to go to South Shroud,
Oh yeah.
and so just little things like that, having to go to the same spot and see everybody. I still wish there was a way to something to do with like free company houses or whatever, where you could all meet up and go in somewhere, but not everybody has a house. They need to figure out that whole thing. But yeah, it's all about having community and play. Like I'll play just about any other game that I have friends playing. So if my friends will play a game for a bit, I'll log on and I'll play with them. I just enjoy the social aspect of it. And 14 has stuff that you can do on your own. It has some decent grinds. Leveling all your classes on one character is very nice. All your crafters and gatherers and stuff, I get that done in about 2 weeks once the expansion drops. But yeah, stuff like that.
And most of the time, well, I'm following you on the different platforms, YouTube,
Thank you.
Twitch, etc. But how did you meet everyone in Nest? Were you friends with them before the coming to the game, or did you meet some of them during your time at FF14?
Yeah, it was all through 14. I don't know anybody in real life before this or through other games. It was kind of funny where I was running a raid group with another friend, and we needed somebody to sub in for us. We're trying to get turn 5 down in the first coil, and that was when it was still really hard and everybody was really bad at the game. So my Jesse and Seabass were a part of a group,
Yeah.
and their raid leader subbed in for us. And then later on, I posted myself in Party Finder looking for a raid group. And it was just because everything else had fallen apart on my end. And then that raid leader invited me to their group. And so then I got to know Jesse and Seabass. And then that group fell apart. And eventually I still found people to play stuff with. And I got my like turn 9 clear with them. And then I was teaching people turn 9. And so then Jesse and Seabass came back. And I can't remember which one came back first and then got the other one in. And then they brought in Corey, Craig, Steve, Mike. And then I had my wife, Uni, playing with us at that time because we were still more or less childless. we were a single couple. And then the rest is history. When I was teaching people turn 9, that's the very first video on my channel, I think. Just turn 9 shenanigans or derping or whatever. And I'd learned video editing for the church that I was going to. I was doing stuff with the youth group, and I was doing comedy skits for them. And so comedy has always been my go-to. I've always enjoyed watching, listening, and kind of honing my craft in this way for that. But yeah, I was just like, I want to make a video for all the stuff, all the funny things that we've done. So I found a recording software, recorded our runs, made the video, and then people were like, "Oh, this is really funny. You should post it on the subreddit." And I was like, "No, they're mean over there. I don't want to do that." And because I've just had they just like arguing sometimes,
Yes.
ridiculous stuff.
About
For example,
nothing,
yeah,
nothing makes sense sometimes around there.
yeah, yeah. I had initially asked or posted there that I wanted to see new running animations for different classes because it just to be used to be pumping arms for everything. So on Paladin, you'd be pumping arms. I was like, it would be really cool if you had your sword like behind you, like in the intro cinematic, like almost dragging. And somebody got mad at that. They're like, I am a swordsman and I would never drag my sword through the dirt. I'm like, I'm not saying you drag the sword. I'm just saying it looks like, anyway, it's like that kind of comment. So
Yeah.
it's not a very pleasant time all the time, but I posted it, and I just remember it blowing up. Like it was for at the time for me, it was ridiculous because it was like 1,000 views, and then it was 30 minutes later, it was 1,500 views, and then yeah, a little while later, it was 2,000, 3,000 views, and people were like, "We want more of this. We want more of this," and it just blew me away. And then I kept doing it. I made another video. They said, "We want more of this," so then I made another video, and then I just kept going. Hasn't stopped.
And now you're there. But some of them are unfortunately, sorry, lost in the process because you were victim of hack. I think it was
Yeah,
2 or 3 years. I don't remember
yeah,
clearly.
it was one. It was one attack. It was like this AI crypto
Yeah.
thing. They switched up my whole thing. I got it back in 3 days, but in that 3 days, I lost like 10,000 subs, I think, or something like that. It was a large number, a few thousand at the very least, and some of them might have been like not watching anyway, so then they just didn't come back. So that number hasn't gone up, and then YouTube algorithm hasn't been kind to me. So when I post a video, things go up for a little bit, but otherwise people just start kind of falling off. I think that's also the state of the game right now, but yeah.
For I will how should I say? Your story about finding a red group, it makes sense for me because uh, for well, for the people who follow me, they know it. But the group that I'm actually in, it's kind of similar to your story. I go through the same problem, and I'm like to 3 or 5 group raid, and like it was something that I was in a previous group, and things didn't go well. Like it was just for doing great stuff, and just it was it, nothing more, nothing else. We were doing our raid time, and for me, during that period, it was okay for me because my job didn't permit to have more time for doing spicy stuff. I would save on the game. So I was like, okay, I will go for it. But I recently changed my job, and I found a person that was looking for people to allow this group to go on raid. Especially it was on the Arcadian, and we will be doing actually like next Friday. or we have done tea, and we were going on Uwu on Friday. It's the first time that I, thanks to this person, I'm going up for the art content, and not just doing raid for doing raid, but I'm like, I want to witness the stupidity of a group. It sometimes can be nice. I know about what I'm talking because you probably confront regularly during your stream
Yeah.
during the nest. But I think on my end, it's the core essence of Final Fantasy XIV. It's more. the game obviously is a big part of doing stuff, but the group that we are in is also a big impact, has also a big impact of how we see the game. And
Okay.
and on this end, how did you have the idea to bring Nest to life, and how things developed on the game?
Well, yeah, like I said, I wanted to make that one video, and then it was just that video for the turn 9, and then I got everybody else into the game once Seabass and Jesse had come back and they got their friends in, and then just my free company name is Drake's Nest, so then Nest is our acronym, and then that's just kind of how I started titling things, because I initially, when I did the Bismarck video, I did Nest or something derping around in Bismarck, and it got a lot of downvotes. And then people were like, "Oh, this is the person who did the Turn 9 video. You should put your name in the title so that people know who you are." And so then that's how the branding came around for Nest. People just recognized our team name, and then, yeah, then it just everything revolved around that name, and it's how people realize that a new video came out. So it's yeah, basically just recognition.
Yeah. And when did you notice where? So you talk about a lot about it, but when you started your next video, and when was the point, approximately, of course, it was on the Bismarck video that you noticed that, hey, this kind of content works and works fine, and I can go further. But when did you see that this content really hit the mark on the FF14 community?
It was basically right away. As soon as I did the T9 video and people just
Yeah.
kept asking for more, then the community grew. And I don't really remember. It took a little bit before. No, what was it? I think the big moment was when I got invited specifically to FanFest. Like they gave me a ticket, and I got to participate in like a Q&A with Yoshi P and stuff like that. And when I think it wasn't during Stormblood, but after Stormblood, for Shadowbringers onward,
Yeah.
I was invited to their media tours as well. So that was my big break, I guess, is how I knew I made it.
Yeah.
And that was my main goal of doing YouTube in the first place. I was like, I want the advertisement so I get free games, so I get all those codes for free, and I want to be able to go to like conventions and stuff. And yeah, that's all happened. So I've made it. I'm done.
I'm actually curious. When, so you talk about T89, when was the turning point for you when you were like, oh, I like this game? Not like just like I was talking about Dispatch, that I love the game, etc. But I will not put my life on it like I do with FF14. I've got like 10,000 hours on it. But I think everyone has his own point when we were saying, "Oh, I love the story. I love the game for what it brings me in visual, or just about the sentiment that that it feels when we are playing it. Is it the raid, the story, the graphism? What what did you like? What makes you stay on the game?
I think it's how close you can get attached to your character, because everything is attached to that character. like World of Warcraft, you have separate characters that have different jobs or classes, but in 14, much like 11, you have everything. You can level up everything on one character and just switch back and forth. And the investment of that, along with all the other things that you could do, like I thought it was really cool that there were the crafting and gathering guilds, and you had to explore around to unlock those and kind of do all that stuff, and the quests that they gave you and the story behind it. Like the world always felt very alive from 2.0 on. I think it's lost a little bit of that. It's gotten a bit more watered down or streamlined to a detrimental degree, but not terrible. I still enjoyed the new crafting and gathering. How they, since what was it in Shadowbringers,
Yeah.
where they consolidated them into like 3. You talk to this person, 3 talks to this person, instead of just leveling up and stalking strictly to a carpenter or a goldsmith master or whatever. So yeah, it was just the story. There was immersion at every level of the game. So there was a way to get invested in the world and feel like you were a part of it. You were doing something.
And story goal, I will say. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I will go it anyway. Which expansion do you prefer so far? And for, I would say, on story, like the MSQ, but also which expansion with red tier do you like? Do you prefer?
The best expansion is Shadowbringers for me. Heaven's Word will always have a special place in my heart because it was the first expansion of a game that I was actually a part of. Like I played 11 before, but I kind of went back and forth. So I came back after an expansion had come out and was like, oh, they added stuff. I need to buy that. But it wasn't like an announcement or an anticipation that I participated in. So Heaven's Word was the first thing for me where we had that new level cap and new abilities and new gear to get through and all that stuff. And that was really cool. But Shadowbringers all around was probably the best, just because story, vibe. It was weirdly nostalgic because you were kind of you could put yourself in Ardbert's shoes. It's like he was going through that RPG experience that just kind of resonated. Like you remember going through an RPG before and getting a new area and seeing the new people and the new civilizations and people and all that stuff. So it hit on a deep emotional level for people like us who enjoy role-playing games in the fantasy setting. It just felt very real. And then as far as the raid tier, honestly
Because
think this one's my
I
favorite.
yeah, I was like why this question? Because I know from your video and your different stream that I lurk on regularly when I can, at least. I know that you like this Arcadian raid.
Yeah, they did a very, very, very good job with giving us basically what we've been asking for a long time, where it's a nice balance of difficulty and DPS check and interesting mechanics, and they thought outside the box and then they capitalized on it. They did a very good job, I think.
It was so funny when I was expecting one of your video, one of your recent video. It was about the M7, not the Savage one, but the classic one. I was like, I've been doing it before you got the chance to go on it, I think, and I was like, hey, it is hard. Even I was like, there is 3 phase, and one of my friend on my FC was like, hey, you will have so much fun, but you will have so much hard time about doing it. And I don't
Yeah.
remember how many wipe because I was doing it on PF. I was like, what the? There is 3 phase, and I was like, I know for a fact that when I ended my stream on it, I was like, oh, I can't wait next on it because I was waiting your group to go in, and I wanted to have your reaction about it.
Yeah, that's why even though I'm very busy and stuff, I try and post when we do content because I know that a lot of people are like, what did you think of this? I want to see how you interacted or reacted to stuff. And if you don't see it, it's because it was just very mundane. Like I don't even think I have the footage anymore from the most recent dungeon. It was a really cool dungeon, but nothing really happened. Um, but I have the Necron and 24 Man that just came out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I still try and do all those things because I know that people are looking forward to that.
And I think it's a shining point of the game, but also of your video, because as you said, I was like, hey, I will be honest, I wanted to have the reaction of Jesse and you during this expansion, during this second tier of the Arcadian. I was like, what did you think of it? I know for a fact that you guys do, been doing the red stuff for longest time than me. So I was really curious about your opinion, your thought about this. I was like, what did they think of it?
Yeah, we've had a very very good opinion of the raid series this time. We still it's made us think a lot. So some of us still get self conscious where we are doing a thing or doing something and then we can't figure it out for a bit and then we're just like, oh man, people are going to think we're dumb or we can't do it. Even at this point we still get a little frustrated when we can't figure it out super quick, but in the end we usually do it, and sometimes we have to look it up and we tell people when we do give up. Like we spent all our brain wrinkles trying to think of this and we can't, so we're just trying to move on.
I'm curious on the Savage end. I know for a fact, again, because I follow you, but it's not the case for all the people that follow me. But you're doing the red in a special way, I would say, because you're doing it blind, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we try and stay as blind as possible.
So you must see a lot of freaking stuff. Sorry. I remember the M8S video that you
Mm-hmm.
when when you discovered the second phase where there was the tower, the link, the a lot of different mix mixed. Wh- how did you feel on this one when you firstly discovered? I know there is a video out there that will express the thing, but how did you feel for the group and for you to discover this second phase?
For the second phase, it was expected. We were glad that it was not a door boss again. Some
The
of us
fucking
were.
boss.
Yeah. Raya likes it, but I don't think I'd mind it as much if we didn't have if we had a longer timer in the thing. But yeah, we liked the second one. I think for the way that they handled it, they did a good job, because with the first phase being so difficult, the second phase felt a lot more like a victory lap. But there were still those mechanics that were like, it was still interesting and fun to execute. But as far as like the DPS check and all that, and how precise you had to be with the mechanics, there was a lot more leniency. You could kind of get away with more stuff or more screw ups. Whereas the first phase was, if somebody dies, you have to figure something out quick or the whole raid's going to wipe. So I liked that it was not as hectic as the first phase. But yeah, the towers, the tethers, that was
I
the
remember
tricky.
ants
Yeah,
going missing a tower because just I will grid a GCD.
yeah. Yeah, we've learned not to do that because people yell at us. But yeah, we what was it? I think the hardest part was trying to make sure we knew what the patterns were and hoping, praying that they weren't going to throw a third or fourth iteration in there. Because that was kind of the thing is like, how do we make this work if it's random? And that's kind of where we always start thinking of is how do we make the most consistent strategy possible? And it was like they have to keep the pattern somewhat consistent, otherwise we have nothing to go off of. So yeah.
And actually, you've done all the tier, if I'm not mistaken, from Shadowbringer, Dawn Trail, Endwalker, or basically all of the expansion, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah, since Stormblood.
since Stormblood. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we for Heavensward we didn't do like we hadn't completed Coil as a group. We didn't do Gordius or Midas. We got like 2 turns of Midas
yeah.
in Heavensward, and then we stopped. And then we did all of Creator, and then after that we did the entire tier every time.
I forgot the question because you recently, it was on the Shadowbringer, I think. You started Ultimate Content with T.
Yeah, yeah.
What was the turning point to when you said, "Oh, we should do Ultimate Content"? From
What was it?
it was a global ID, or this is a uh, mixed, uh, mixed. I would say, yeah, ID. Some of you were willing to go on this kind of content because, for a fact, I've done T recently. It was last year, I think. Yeah, it was last year, and the step isn't the same about extreme and savage. So how did you come on the table these ultimate topics?
I think somebody suggested, I forget exactly what. I think Jesse had done it on his own, or other people were doing it. And then we had Tate, I think at the time, saying that he wanted to try harder stuff with us. And then that just kind of, it was kind of as a joke, like, let's see how far we can get kind of a thing. And T did not go well for us.
Yeah,
But
I
after the
remember.
fact, yeah, after that, we decided to go a little bit easier and just kind of build in difficulty, and that's been okay. But I don't like ultimate content very much. It's a lot of work and a lot of focus over a long period of time, and I get very tired very quickly.
It was my second question. You recently clear Uwu, and Uwu was last year, I think.
Uh,
I
was it?
think,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, because I sorry, I remember this fucking moment in UCOB when you're doing the mecha correctly, and then I think it's Keaton that didn't provoke on time, and Jesse was like, "Oh, it's crisp," and there is a fucking clip about Baramut in the group.
Oh
I was like,
yeah.
I've lost so much, and I think it's my personal preference actually on the content. But yeah, will you be doing the other ultimate, or will you go? I would say tranquilly to each of them and go back to T, of course.
I think at some point this last raid tier made us it took a lot out of us, so we were very tired by the end of it, and we didn't want to just go right back into something else. So when our moods are up, when we have the energy, we'll probably look at another one. But yeah, we decided to take our victory and then just rest for a bit. We'll probably do. I think it's going to be a while until the next expansion. So after we finish this one, which will, based on our rate, we'll probably get it done by May. No, March. March or April, I would assume. We can probably finish off the Savage tier, and then probably into the summer. Well, we is when we'll maybe think about doing the next Ultimate, which would be T.
Yeah, the Jackdaw incident.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the gaslighting of Whoops. It was, yeah, it probably when you gaslight people,
Mm.
I'm doing it sometimes on my group. I've done it. I was like, when we were doing tea with my group, I was like, oh, the Jackdaw isn't this week's. The number of one that I just fucking killed because I've greeted a GCD or no GCD on a Jackdaw, and boom, literally, I
Yeah.
was like, fuck off. I know the pain now. let me
Yeah.
let me go to the second phase, please. so
Yeah.
so yeah, I think again, it's probably my opinion, but I know this is a shared opinion even on some French, on some people on the French side of content. But I really think that the video you're doing is what most people are confronted. I don't know, are facing off the group thing in during raid or even in normal dungeon to to discuss, to discover thing through the game. I really think that your video are the perfect illustration of the group of fans that like the game together.
Yeah, I get those comments a lot that people either they lose their group, so they watch the videos, or they hope that they can get a group like ours. And I want to encourage people to try it. I know how hard it is to find people who are all on the same page, that want to do the same stuff at the same pace, with the same vibe. It's hard to get people who are all like of good humor. Even in our group, there's some times when people get impatient or frustrated when we're messing around, and we try and find that balance. But it's a communication thing. We talk to each other. We either tell us to focus up or to lighten up, because sometimes it's like, hey man, we'll get there. Just take a chill pill. We'll don't take the fun out of it.
Yeah,
But then it's like, you guys need to. We've been on this for so long. It's like, yeah, you're right. We'll tighten up.
and the thing is to discover friends and more exactly people that share the same view of the game or the same vibe. I would say it's ironically the hardest part, I would say, in the game. Even when we are doing raid groups or things, there are a lot of importance about how my vibe match the vibe of the group, I would say.
Mhm.
I would like to come back a little bit of the story of Final Fantasy XIV, because actually it's not a secret. We are near the end of Dawn Trail. So
Yeah.
my question is, what expansion really I would not say emotional, but what expansion feel like, oh, this is the best that we had. I know Shadowbringer is frequently bring. But I think Evansward done a great job, and Walker also. What's your thought about the story, and
Yeah.
which one did you prefer at the end?
It's hard to say. I really like the story for Shadowbringers just because it tied so much of the atmosphere into it. Like every zone had, it was very rich. It was very alive, right? But also, like I said before, Heaven's Word has a special place in my heart because it was the first time I'd experienced something new in an MMO where we got to travel somewhere we'd only heard about in the game, and we got to see what their culture was like and all the areas around them, and experience flying for the first time. And so I really liked all the stuff that they tried in Heaven's Word and stuff like that. And I don't know if it was necessarily emotional. It was powerful. I think there were really cool messages in there that the determination to move forward and forgiveness and still being held accountable for certain things. And yeah, it was very good themes, good things. It wasn't as one dimensional as I think some of the recent expansions have been, or at least this Dawn Trail's been kind of one dimensional. Is this person bad, this person good, and there's no kind of in between. There was not as much discussion and nuance, I feel. So yeah, I think they did a much better job in Heaven's Word and in Shadowbringers.
I like both the expansion. Evansward, not for the same reason about Shadowbringer. Uh, as you said, there is this this gray area that we go a lot during the Evansward content, and obviously the hardest part is about Orchefant. That
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it's one of the few times that a game made me so emotional. Alors, I think there is
Right.
a lot around me at this time when I am doing this MSQ. But there is also the point was where so the deaths of Chauffant that are tragic, emotional, and like that, and where we are facing Torden, I was like, I just want to kill him, and
Yeah.
I think when they did it, when we defeat King Torden, is um, it's really impactful, I would say, when the vision darkens and just the mix of white and black on the
Oh
moment
yeah.
Tardan is dying. Yeah, I think it's very impactful. On the other end, Shadowbringer bring another set of emotion because uh, first of all, there is a lot of violence, like on the first quest. I remember how the Teslin death
Yeah.
traumatized a lot of people.
Yeah, it is that scene. It is known as that scene. Everybody
Yeah,
knows what you're talking about. And Shadowbringers, that scene.
yeah. I think it's a not a big risk, but it made a huge impact on the early Shadowbringer and gave gave us a tone of the expansion, in fact.
Yes.
And I really think that the during this whole Shadowbringer expansion, this is a lot of thing happening, and we don't know who is the enemy anymore. I really
Hmm.
even the Hades is probably the the best character at the end. But when we defeat it, I don't feel that we'll really win, and it's confirmed after what we saw post Shadowbringer and Walker that all of it was like we defeat him at what cost? And these things,
Yeah.
I think it's a huge how should I put it? It's really interesting, and maybe the trail try to made it that way with the Eternity Queen. I don't know how. Where was what was the direction of Outdown Trail? Because I think in for the first half of the game, when we were told that um, we are not the main characters, it was true. But then, past the 95 dungeon, it's gone. Like we're going to save the world again. I don't know if you
Yeah.
felt that way at the time.
Yeah, I didn't mind taking a back seat early on. Uh and yeah, like you said, then we were just kind of thrust into the same position as usual. Which is also okay because it it was okay breaking it up a little bit. I think it was weird that they kind of tried to do both, where they tried to have Wuklamat at the forefront, and she's the one like who we're kind of at the beck and call of. We're doing all this stuff because she wants things done, basically. Which is not being bossy or anything, but it's just one of those things where it's like we're not doing this because we want an adventure. We're doing this because this person is basically making a request of us. So I didn't necessarily like that too much. I would have rather just gone and punched him in the face because he zapped us with lightning. Because I was like, no, you tried, not my turn. But yeah, it was very weird overall. I don't think there wasn't a lot that I came away from Dawn Trail's story being like, oh, that was cool. Uh, I like the fights, like I said. Certain elements were neat, but yeah, it was all over the place. They just kind of failed to meet a theme, especially the pacing of it, which is kind of my own gripe. Where we took it easy, kind of in the first half, which that was fine. Even though Zoralja, his character changed like 4 or 5 times throughout the story.
Yeah.
Uh, so he was never consistent. Um, I think they made Kona a little too one-dimensional, where his progress was looked down on. And I understand that he had like his progress still helped, and there's a progress is good in certain circumstances. Obviously, he thought that it was things like traditions could be done away with, and only progress mattered. But it seemed like everything he did to progress was seen as negative, which was kind of weird. So they made it like Wuklamat's the only one doing things right, and it didn't actually challenge her to improve herself. It was just always like, oh, all I have to do is the power of friendship and learn the culture, and then I win, basically.
Yeah.
But she never had to learn strength from Zoralja. She never had to learn to think forward like Kona. It was always like, I can be an airhead this entire time, and as long as I shake hands with everybody at the end, I'm the good guy. I'm the winner. So it was very odd for me. We didn't really get to cultivate her, like help her as a character. We just kind of in the background, waiting for Bakul Jaja to step out of line so we could smack him. And then you went to the desert, and that just brought everything to a screeching halt. It was the most boring 2 hours, 3 hours of my life sitting through that story. Like it was a good story as a side quest. Like if they put
Yeah.
that towards gathering, or through if they made that town or the Hetzaro, the tribal,
Yeah.
the beast tribe or whatever, the society quest in English is what they call it now.
Yeah.
That would have been okay.
I think in French it has another name, but yeah, I think it is something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, anyway, they could have cut that from the main story entirely. The And then everything after that was like, again, we were at the forefront at that point. We were the ones taking care of things, and I wish we spent more time with the key. I hope we get more information about that and what that's about and get to use it a little bit more. And yeah, I very much checked out of the MSQ after that. I ended up skipping scenes. I was like, this is like very forced. You're trying to make me care about this, like in the recent patch when the guy got turned to dust. Sorry, spoilers. Like that was a feel bad moment. Like you don't want to see somebody die that way, but they tried to make you like feel they treated him like Horsefant.
Yeah,
You know, it's like
yeah.
we don't know him. We have no idea who he is. Stop trying to make me care about this person who means nothing to us. So I skipped. Like they were just trying to like we're all this dialogue about their lives together. I'm like, I don't care, dude. Just no, skip it. Go on. I just want to get to the 24 man and the raid.
Let me fight.
I'm over this. Yeah. So I was no, yeah. I just wanted I wanted Necron. I wanted the EX. I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
just trying to get my mount, dude. Just get out of the way. You guys are you guys are cramping my style here.
and
So yeah.
I think that by the way that the post expression update, like the point 7.1, 2, 3, and the next one of 3 has been going up in quality. Whether be on the music, even the story. I really think on my side, and I know that it's an idea that it some of my friends are sharing, that there is a step up on compared to the Downtrade expansion and or his
Hmm.
story than the post story actually. Uh,
Yeah.
Typically, the next one, I really think that how it's bring up, how we discover it, and where it led us to. I really think it's interesting. I don't know if you felt the same way as we do, because I know this point three has been pretty well received on the French side.
Yeah, it's probably getting better in certain areas. I'm noticing more in terms of technical. So story-wise, I'm very like I said, I'm kind of checked out at this point. I'm waiting for something to really grab my attention. But I like what they're doing with the facial expressions. I like how they've made cutscenes. They've like the lens blur in the background, so it looks more dynamic, feels more cinematic when we're in cutscenes. And yeah, characters are looking a little bit more lively. It feels like we're engaged a little bit more. They did a little thing. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but when you when you bring out your mounts, there's a mounting animation now.
Yeah,
Yeah, that took me by surprise. I was like, wait a second, I put my leg over my horse. That's really cool. Uh, it's small things, small little things that I'm like, oh, okay, they're showing some love to the overall game right now, and that's nice to see.
I really, yeah, I think that there are a lot of minor stuff that not like a story, 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 quest, etc. But a little modification about the QOL and things like that are changing for the better the game.
Yeah.
And I really, damn, I really wish that the change the not the change the system for the the you were talking about the mount. I was like, I feel you on your change about and your role when you're doing an extreme.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So because this is not a joke. I think no, it's not. I think I got screen. Yeah, I got a screenshot that my best roll on mount or object that I wanted. during chaotic or even the first raid. I didn't. My best score was 50 during the whole don't trail stuff that I was doing. Either way, on the extreme or savage, I didn't go further than 50 on the fucking
Oh,
wall.
yeah, I feel that. I I've been doing on top of the extreme trials on weekends. I've got a group that does the maps,
Yeah.
and I lose basically every roll on all the important stuff. But thankfully, somebody didn't want the Yan mount, so I was able to buy it from them. They want it, and they're like, do you want it?" I was like, "Yes, I do," because I want to run into Keaton with it.
By the way, how's the farm of the Necron is doing? Did you finish it?
Yeah, we've been done with Necron for a bit. They gave us the 2 totems per, much to Raya's displeasure. He likes grinding for a really long time, and I think he's crazy. But yeah, we got our 50 runs taken care of. I think we saw two or three mount drops. We didn't see very many. It wasn't as bad as which one was really bad for us. I think Valley Garmanda was. It didn't drop until like the last 3. We finally saw some whistles or some mounts drop.
What guys in I think with the next group would you like to see more often on the game?
Say that again.
What kind of content you guys
Oh.
at Nest would like to see more often on the game?
Oh, that's tough. I want them to keep it up with the raid content, and then I think we're gonna try the new variant dungeon and see how that goes. I'm looking. So we did the new Palace of the not sorry Deep
The
Dungeon.
Pilgrim, yeah.
Yeah, so we did the Pilgrim's Traverse. We got to floor 100. We but we only did it with 3 people, so we couldn't go into the
The country,
ultimate version.
yeah,
Yeah,
country one.
the quantum. Yeah, so we finished that. That was all done. But I think it'll be nice to go into the variant because I think it's variant advanced, and then Criterion.
Yeah.
I think that'll be easy to get people into as long as it's interesting. Because the first Criterion was very interesting. I just don't think the rewards at the time when we were doing it were good enough to keep people interested. So we almost finished that dungeon, but then we ran out of time, and then I think we had to go back into raid. So then we just never went back. But yeah, I remember enjoying the Criterion, that level of difficulty it was probably like extreme levels of difficulty, I would say. Very unique mechanics that I still have nightmares of the rolling the rolling dandelions, I think they are
Yeah.
in Selkie, because it's like whichever, it's not a strict move up, down, left, right. It's whichever way you're facing sends the thing that way, and then it shoots out diagonals based on your angle. And I was like, oh man, this is precise. So that made me very nervous when we were doing it.
Remember P8's trauma
Oh yeah.
with the snakes.
Yes.
I remember seeing you seeing the nest, and I think it was you that sniped the whole group when doing the snake mecha, and you just fucking blind the whole group when doing a
Yeah.
GCD. I was like, oh fuck.
I flipped around, solar
I
flare, everybody, and
yeah.
they all died. Thankfully, they laughed about it, but I felt really bad.
Yeah, I know. I see. I see. um, I I remember seeing about high content stuff. I don't know where I saw it. But they are discussing about t- mm, y- how was it? Um, Rework the different jobs. If it's the case, what did you expect of this rework of each one of the job? What would you
Oh,
like
it's
to
hard
do?
to. Oh, what I'd like to do, if
Yeah.
anybody wants to look at my one of my recent
Uh,
podcast
yeah.
episodes,
You talk.
I
I remember you talk about that.
mhm.
It's why I launched you on this subject.
Yeah. It's what I want to happen is them to make it so that we have a rotation as soon as we go into dungeons. So just a base core kit of like 7 or 8 skills that we rapidly unlock up to level 15. We get into a dungeon. That's what we are. I don't know if you guys have Fellowship, the new. It's basically Mythic Plus from WoW.
Yeah.
It's a game just about that, just doing dungeons and stuff. But that's like a really good example that hadn't played that yet when I came up with this idea. But that's like, if you want an example of what it is, that's basically it, where you have a core rotation, an introduction to your mechanics and resources, and then as you level up, you get abilities on the side or extra stuff, or your core rotation changes, so that not like changes in how it works, but how monks abilities transform now, or like how at some point Dark Knight's delirium changes into different kinds of skills, stuff like that, where it gets they improve, they get better, they do a little bit of extra stuff, maybe you get an off global. I want to get rid of the global cooldowns a little bit more and just have it based on animations, so that it's just snappy. You hit a button, the animation's done, you hit the next button, and as long as that animation is as long as it takes to get into the next thing. Just to more feel, as close to action combat as you really can get. Because I was playing like Guild Wars, and I noticed that you have your basic attack that's like 1.5 second cooldown. You just keep hitting it, and the animation is exactly that length. And then you have like I was playing archer or hunter or whatever, and then the shooting like a bunch of arrows, and it was a channeled thing. So just you watch the count or the bar, instead of it filling up, it decreases. And he's watching arrows and numbers fly off, and I was like, oh, that felt really good. Even though I wasn't hitting a bunch of buttons, I was watching my character do something, and I was getting that feedback. And then I think the last thing is making it so that each hit from an animation gives off a damage number, and then having a toggle of having the damage numbers and then the total at the end, or just having how it is now. But I like that constant feedback of, like, if I'm doing Monk's Demolish attack, that's a 5-hit combo.
Yeah.
I want to see 5 numbers pop up, and I think somebody has made a mod for that. So like, there's something that can be done in the game to make it work. But yeah, that's something that I would like to see, to make like, one, the jobs feel better at a level synced, so that it's not changing so much, because it really sucks going from level 100 down to level 30 to 50, even like going down to level 60.
Yeah.
You're just like, where are all my buttons? What do I even do? I don't have all the stuff that make this class interesting. Some people are weird in my chat, and they're like, oh, I like how slow it gets. I'm like, why? There's nothing
Yeah.
else going on in the
Yeah.
dungeon.
I was
The most interesting part about dungeons is what you can do with your skills and your rotation, and then it's just like, you're just watching 2.5 seconds roll by every single time you have to do a 1-2 combo. They don't even feel good to hit. So yeah,
I was
that's something that I would like them to do. I don't mind if they keep the same resource systems and gauges, and I would like to see them move away from 2 minute to embrace a little bit more uniqueness in each
yeah.
job.
I
They
was
need to get
going
rid
to
of,
bring
like,
that up.
yeah,
Yeah.
they need to get rid of raid buffs for that to happen.
Yeah. Um. I will. I was thinking about recently. I was doing the duty for leveling my Gunbreaker, and
hmm
I've tagged on Sestasha, and I was like, oh, I've got no buttons on this fucking
Yeah.
dungeon, and it's not a bad thing. Again, it's just when you well, it was at that time it was 1990, I think. So I was like, okay, I know that I didn't unlock everything, but where is all my button? I some of them would be nice, especially in
Yeah.
dungeon. I think more the AOE buttons should be more present. I think the when
Yes.
you gather the different enemies,
Yes.
and I'm I'm pretty I'm pretty fuck. Sorry. It's like all of there are a lot of ideas that was coming in my mind, and when I tried to say them, it didn't go well. So yeah,
It's okay. It happens to me all the
yeah,
time.
I was like, yeah, I'm totally agreeing with you about the dominant stuff. I really think, in an objective point, and after discussion of some of my FC, that I think some of them have done the some war prog for DSL. I think it was either DSL or top. So
Hmm.
so they were complaining about the fact that the 2 minutes timings, and it makes the game kinda boring for them.
Yeah.
The there are a bunch of mathematicians and love using Excel sheets. I was like, it's never something that I have understood, but it's a thing. It's okay, but they feel that they have been taking away something from that, and I kind of I don't really understand what they were liking about doing mad stuff for raid, but I kind of get it in the way that we're doing, like you said, with raid buff and the 2 minutes for everyone. You know that there are minor things that will change during your rotation, whether you play on different role, but in the same time, you will be doing the same stuff again, again, and again. I really think
Hmm.
it's not a bad thing because it allows new player to start um, the hardcore content. But I think, as you said, we lost something in return about it. Especially, I
Yeah.
think, with the as you said, the learning experience about our job, or the core rotation of the jobs, whether on dungeons, but also on learning about how the job is playing. Is it-
Yeah, yeah, and it's something that can be introduced to the game very early because most games now do that, where you have a very early look at what the job is supposed to look like, and then people can kind of make their decisions right based on that early gameplay. And sometimes it's a little slower and it gets better over time. That's okay for me, but yeah, there's when you have everything, this is something I've been thinking about recently, is that most Final Fantasy titles have some way of interacting with the party, right?
yeah,
It's easier to do when it's a single player title because you're making decisions on your own, and making a party around the strategy that you want. But every game has their battle mechanic, and I don't think 14 does. And I want something along those lines where more than like it's just very basic MMO right now, but there's nothing uniquely Final Fantasy about it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So that's something that I'm hoping for too. I don't know exactly what to do for it, but or if it would including something like that would make every casual player. I don't know how many people would actually want to engage with it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
That's kind of the hard thing. Is like you can make something interesting and encourage group gameplay and synergy and stuff, but then there are a lot of people that are very much used to things just being given to them, handed out to them, not having to work for things. And as soon as you introduce something where they have to think for a second, they're just going to complain so much. So I don't know what the best way to do for that, but I'd like to see something that's not. So I think a big issue with the 2 minutes, aside from being boring, I think a reason it's boring is because it's just you. You're playing as a group, and the only thing to do to synergize is through the mechanics of a fight. Like you have a role to fulfill or a place to go, right? But that's about it. Nothing in your kit helps you do that, unless you're a tank or a healer, basically. So yeah, I don't have a full firm solution on that, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'd like to see more, you know, group play in groups, not
Yeah.
just all right. I'm just hitting the same rotation every single time over and over again while I do these mechanics.
Do you think a new job that break these things about having 2 minutes? No, I think you're if you bring a new job that is not depending on birth rates, but you will have the same problem. You need to rework all the existing job to make a new one. Would you prefer to have a new job that allow bring uniqueness to each class, or not a new job on the next expansion? I mean, or just a rework on these different jobs and how they are been playing in
Yeah,
actual.
if we had to choose between a new job or reworking current jobs, I would say rework current jobs, because then you're basically getting
A
all
default
new
job,
jobs.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'd also like to see no new jobs, but branching jobs, like kind of skill trees. Not anything where you have to choose what's best, but changing how things play. So, for instance, like if you had, for me, it's monk. If you had
I'm
gave them,
surprised.
yeah. Sorry, I was gonna come out with that out of nowhere,
Yeah.
but the if you had say a staff instead of just using your fists, and you had more defensive cooldowns, and you had aggro generation. So going down that line, you would have a tanky monk that could fill that role. Or if you decided to do like kind of the drunken fist thing and use your gourd or whatever spirits to, or in your chakra to heal the party, then you have a healer monk with down that skill tree. I think stuff like that would be really cool, because then you can diversify a lot of stuff without having to come up with a brand new job with a new play style. And kind of make it unique that way. I think that'd be neat, and hopefully they'd be able to do more from that. But yeah, I'd like to see just the current jobs branched out into different stuff. I think that'd be neat.
Yeah, I totally agree. I really think, and foremost, because we have been eating the level 100 on this expansion, instead of going to going on an expansion when we gain 10 more levels, maybe an awakening system that we add you
Yeah,
to choose your gameplay. Um, Kinda the same system that as Lost Ark, for example.
yeah, Lost Ark or Black Desert.
Yeah, yeah. I think it would be great to have something like that that allows you to choose a specialization or something like that that will bring a new. We'll see the jobs in a new way, and we'll play in different manners that will either fit the group or ourselves.
Yeah.
And so I I'm pretty curious also about other thing that you've been doing. There are a lot of stuff that you're doing with Nest, but you also well we are talking about you, so I will ask about your other projects, of course.
Ah, yes, yes.
Could you
I'm very
tell
excited about that.
Yeah, could you tell us more about it?
Yeah, I'm making a tabletop game. I'm trying to establish an IP, an intellectual property, because something that I noticed with successful brands, successful games, is that they have a long-standing or a long-running iteration of
Yeah.
different games. So Final Fantasy, Warcraft, Fire Emblem, all these things, they started out with a game, got the following, and then they could do different things with that IP, and people will be interested in it because of the IP. So instead of just coming out and trying to compete with everything, I wanted to start small and start building an RPG IP. It's a lot of acronyms there. But yeah, I'm starting off on a tabletop because it's the easiest to do for me. It's not easy; it's the easiest. It's very very detail oriented and very work intensive. But I didn't have to learn programming. I didn't have to learn art. I could kind of rely on other people for that kind of stuff. But yeah, all I had to do was write the rules and introduce people to the races that I wanted in the world and the world itself and some of the mechanics around it. The idea around this game is that you still have a group of heroes and then you have the antagonist. So instead of a dungeon master, it is just the bad guy, the big bad evil guy at the end. And both of them are racing to accumulate power to take over the world continent or the game map. So I had to, for the past few months, I reworked stuff because originally it was kind of Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder where you have a dungeon master and then they narratively take the group through the story. Now it's I made the game map where the party chooses which area to go to, fights the monsters there, and they're trying to take on quests from the settlements of the different races and fight those monsters to increase their levels, to fight stronger monsters, to eventually be strong enough to take out the overlord and or the big bad guy. So that has been. I'm trying to get people together to in real life to play with that and test it. But it still has the usual RPG elements, things that I liked. I like having racial traits and unique things with that for making your decisions count. Each class evolves into another class. You have your very generic three archetypes with rogue, fighter, and mage, and then as you level up, you choose more and more specialized classes or even like sub features of those classes that so like say for example you have fighter and that can go into knight, brawler, or barbarian. If you go into knight, then you have three different subclasses to choose from, whether or not you want to be more DPS oriented, support oriented, or tank oriented. And then from those, once you go into from knight to paladin, whatever you chose in knight becomes even more specialized, and all the stuff that you got is easier to use now and does better. But then it's split up into two types of gameplay, where when you're in the overworld, you're just moving around as a party, kind of like think Final Fantasy Tactics or Fire Emblem, where you're just moving from one spot to another, and then the overlord takes a turn. They move from one spot to another. Then you roll dice, just very quick to figure out battle. Instead of like making a whole bunch of encounters every time, which would take a really long time. So we'll see how people enjoy it, but yeah, it's something that I've poured a few years into making. I'm hoping to get it done by April next year. I wanted to get it done by the end of this year, but with the recent change that I made, that took a few months.
Yeah.
So I'm pushing it forward a few months, and we'll see. Where I'm not going to do any more big changes, but that can be accessed for free. You can look on Kickstarter, Call to Ascension. It should have the Discord. And once you go into the Discord, you go into the updates tab, and that has the link to the the PDF with all the early access rules. So the people who paid for the early access get the full game. The people in for free access in the Discord get like half of that, basically. Just enough to figure out what the game is if it's something that they want to buy. Because I know that a lot of Kickstarters have kind of gone belly up and then people are left with nothing. So I wanted to, if I can't do the game for whatever reason, then people still have the rules that I made. They have something for supporting, you know what I mean? So that's, I wanted to build goodwill in that area, because I know it's a big ask to expect people to part with their hard-earned money for something that's kind of could be an empty promise.
Yeah, I totally see see it, and it's nice to have something new like that. And when did you get this idea? What did you make? When did you yeah get the idea to doing
Yeah.
something like that? It was a long time dream, or it was bring it with a discussion or an idea that
Hmm.
you secretly reflect on it.
Yeah, it's making games is something that I've always enjoyed doing. I've done it since I was a kid, just making up rules and stuff like that, or doing that thing where you in school where you just have like a graph paper and then you just draw out a dungeon and just make traps and stuff. Like my friends and I just had a lot of fun making stuff up, and got really into fantasy and stuff like that. But about, I want to say 6 or 7 years ago, it was right before COVID, so about 6 years ago.
It's just, yeah.
I was watching the anime Overlord, and I was like, oh, it wasn't anything that they did, but it was the vibe
Yeah.
of I like all his reminiscing, his stories about doing stuff with his guild, and making their guild hall and all the competition that they had to do against other players, and the effort that they put into getting their guild weapon, or their building up their NPCs, or the care that they put into their home, helping each other get race items to evolve and stuff like that. I was like, that is everything that I wanted to do in an MMO. Like, that's everything that I wanted to do in a game.
Et bonjour
Is
mes
that
cats,
collaboration,
bienvenue.
that spending
Installez-vous
effort
avec le raid.
towards
On est
stuff.
actuellement sur
Excuse me,
un-
and doing all that. So then I was just really inspired to finally take a
on est sur,
step out and
effectivement sur avec,
start,
Drak,
because
avec Drak Gamestein.
I'd
Donc c'est
wanted to wait
full en
until
anglais.
the YouTube channel got to a certain point where I could start, or maybe if I saw it dying, then I could kind of shift gears and go into game development. But I really wanted to
On est
do
full
it, and
anglais
then my
aujourd'hui.
friend Corey, who used to raid with us, he was into Overlord. I told him my idea, and then he wanted to be a part of it. And then unfortunately, his girlfriend at the time, Savannah, passed away very suddenly. He couldn't help me anymore, and then I left it for about 3 years, and then I finally decided to pick it up again. And I told him, right, with his blessing, I was like, can I just do this on my own then? Because you're picking up all the pieces of your life still. And he said,
Yeah.
he was okay with that. And he still comes in every now and then and helps me to test stuff out. But yeah, no, it was that I was like, I need to make something like this. I need to at least try to make something where people can get together with their friends and make lasting memories. I want to make something like that, and so easiest way to do that was just start with pen and paper, where it's really easy to get into. I don't need a big team for it. I just need a lot of time, a lot of time, and a lot of brain power.
Yeah.
And it has required a lot. Like I think I break up my days now into morning, and then as soon as lunch hits, then I move into editing videos. So
I was
I,
that was going to be my question. Do you doing alone, or do you have some people that help you? You mentioned Corey, but
Yeah.
most of the project is done by you, if I understand
Yeah, right now
it
it's
correct.
just me.
Yeah.
I've got people like Shadati, who's an artist over here who has helped me with other stuff, but she was very interested in the world and the game. So her and I go back and forth on like lore stuff and like pitch ideas. And so that's fun. But as far as like the rules and stuff, that's me.
Yeah.
And then I have another artist that I got through Fiverr that was helping me, or a couple artists that have. Most of the money that I raised through the Kickstarter, which was a wild success, and I'm very thankful for everybody who helped me with that. All that money's been going towards paying for art assets. Very expensive,
Yeah.
but
I can
I
guess.
yeah
Mao.
I everything I do I really want to do with quality,
Yeah.
so it's important to me. Doing as much as I can. I might not be able to get art assets for everything, unfortunately, because there's like probably 20 different enemy types that I want to put into the game, and that's like $30 to $60 a piece for artwork for each of those, and that just adds up extremely quickly. So maybe at some point I'll get all of it, but I might have to cut it off at a certain point as well. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, then yeah, I just break up my day, and I told my community that this is something that I'm working on, and they're okay waiting for videos. And I've got Scribble who helps me edit.
Yeah.
So it's been hard because, like I said at the beginning, I think people are kind of over the game right now. Dawn Trail's lost a lot of people. I know that there's just like the negative sentiment online, but I've actually seen it where people are just a mix of job market being weird and just interest in the game dying, where people are not like engaging in the Patreon as much or not watching the videos as much. So revenue's gone down. So I'm walking a precarious line at the moment to make sure that I keep everything afloat while still getting everything done.
Yeah.
And but most people have been very understanding for letting me take my time. But yeah, like I said, my mornings will be spent on the game, and sometimes I'll spend all the hours coming up with like one ability for a few different classes, just trying to think of the rules, the wording, what makes it unique, all this stuff. And I'm just sitting there staring at my screen for like 20 minutes at a time, like, how do I actually word this? What is it? What do I do?
The blank page syndromes sometimes
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, it's a challenge, but it's also a very fun exercise, so I'm enjoying myself.
I was going to ask because you were talking about it, but it's not too hard to mix the NES content, so the video, even though that you had Scribble that helped you editing, derushing, recording the different video, and call to accession to manage. It's not I will not say a work overload, but is it manageable actually to do this? Because yeah, you talk about you were talking about how you were breaking your days, the morning to break for call to ascension, sorry, and video editing the afternoon. So my question is more like to be when you were doing red stuff and content like that, is it not too hard to mix both of the project, or it's manageable?
I figured out how to make it manageable. Thankfully, I've worked so that all the funds coming in, even if they've been lower lately, I make the most out of that. And so I'm still able to survive without taking anything else on. And for better or worse, putting out videos frequently doesn't help my channel.
Yeah.
So I can kind of sit back and be like, okay, well, if it doesn't matter, then I can just take my time, make the video. It's done when it's done. Like, I'm not slacking, but
No,
it
yeah,
at the very least, because I remember I spent a lot of money having Scribble help me get all of the videos done, all 4 of those in 1 month. I tried to get all those out at the same time. It took me like 3 months or a month or 2 to finish editing them all. But then I put them all out in 1 month. And so that was a huge amount of money that I put towards her to help me with each of those. And YouTube didn't even like it barely blipped, with
Yeah.
the revenue or whatever. So I was
Didn't
like, why did
blink
I?
an eye. You're looking
Oh,
away. I was like, hey.
yeah. So I'm like, why am I bothering
Yeah.
with doing this if it's not? And it's not to. It's nothing on the viewers' side. It's just if YouTube's not going to reward me from putting in more effort, then I can kind of ease off a little bit and not worry so much about putting it out as frequently. So it's mostly on my end, how much I expect of myself to do. So I've been trying to manage my expectations a little bit better and not stress quite as much for having to get stuff out at a time. Like it's done when it's done. I'm always working on it. I'm always chipping away at each project, and it will get done. It's just yeah. If I try and go too hard on it and like tell myself, oh, I need to get a video out every week, or I need to get 2 videos out every month, then I'll the stress takes its toll on my body, and I can't do that. But yeah, the way that I've currently have it set up is a lot better.
I have continuing what you were saying. This is a question that I ask frequently because I'm a journalist for an association that doing the goal of the association, sorry, is to show the French VTubers to the community to know that the French VTubers are existing. But a
Mhm.
question that I ask frequently is how did you quantify the the amount of work? I will explain. Typically, some of the person that I discuss with are saying that 80% that the work we're doing on the internet is shadow things that more like we don't see on screen, and 20% of the total work is shown during stream or even a YouTube video. Do you think this number is accurate, or would you put it higher or lower than that? I don't know if I
Uh,
was really clear on how I
so
sentence uh, of
sorry,
yeah.
asking how much of my work is actually shown or how
Yeah,
much is
yeah,
behind the
yeah.
scenes.
So
Um,
the quality
hmm.
on the wall work you're doing either for colors to ascension and the next video. Do you think that the number that 20% of what is shown to the screen, either be on live or video or other media, I would say, is accurate, or do you think of a different number? I would say,
Yeah, I would say probably 60% of my work is behind the scenes
yeah,
because all my recording is done on live stream. And I try and leverage as much of my process as possible to monetize just so that I can, keep living. It makes it a lot easier when I can monetize the recording process, and then the editing process is monetized through YouTube once it's put up. Can't do as much with Call to Ascension right now, so that's mostly behind the scenes because there's not as much I can do live for that. But I would say probably 60% of my work overall, 60 to 70% is offline, and then the 30% is 30 to 40 is up, whether it be the live streams or the videos themselves. Yeah, a lot more work has to go into actually making the content happen
yeah,
rather than just doing it. Whereas some streamers are just they log on and then that's their content. They have an editor to do the video side of things. But for me, it's all my responsibility basically, except for like a few people like Scribble or Archie who are helping me with the artwork and editing. So yeah.
yeah. I totally get it. Uh, we are nearing the end of this podcast stream. I don't know how should I call it, but Yeah. Um, do you have any last word to say about the game, whether it be Call to Ascension or Final Fantasy XIV? What what advice would you give to the different communities about the games?
I would say that I'm looking forward to 14 kind of catching their stride again. I think they tried a lot of new stuff that some panned out, some didn't. So I hope that the things that did work for them, that they keep following through with that. And I'm looking forward to the next expansion. And I'm looking forward to the next raid in the next month or so, which will be hopefully a lot of fun. And then for my game, if you guys are following along, then I just hope that you are patient and please give me feedback. Please play the game and let me know how it's going and what you want to see in it. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep doing what I think is best, and that's not always great. So any help that you guys can give me, I appreciate.
Thank you. I would like to personally to thank you again about this opportunity to have this discussion with you. Sorry. It isn't really easy exercise for myself because I don't have the opportunity to talk in English. So thank you again for taking your time doing this on live. It really means a lot. And as I said again and again, I watch a lot of your video and your stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling happy to have you to discuss about this
Yeah.
subject, this stuff. It's really interesting. Even though my English isn't the best one in the world, but yeah, I think that all my ID have been received on your side. So thank you again for granting me this opportunity to have to for having this chance to discuss about things like that with you.
Yeah, no problem. Maybe someday, because I'd like to reach out to other communities, and with my text box format, it would be very expensive. But hopefully, someday I can get somebody to transcribe in different languages and post on different language channels to reach more people. Because yeah, it's very hard. It's something that I want to be able to do, but it's difficult. But if anybody out there wants to go into the Nest videos and translate, I do have them. I think I have them open for community translation. If you guys want to help out at all or share it with friends and whatnot, I'd always appreciate that. So, and I like doing these kinds of things. So keep it up, keep working at it, and I hope you have fun with your own content creation.
Yeah. As I said, on my end we will be starting it Friday at don't remember 9 p.m. On my French side. But yeah, I know the it's already been chaotic in text channel, so I'm pretty waiting for it to be on screen, and it's kind of chaotic already. It
Yeah.
hasn't ever been started that it's already stuff is already happening. Some of us are discovering the role that they are playing. Some of them have decided sorry to to completely switch job. Some of them were playing melee, and
Yeah.
for some reasons we've discovered that they were playing like heal or magic range, or like
Hmm.
it will be fun.
Yeah.
uh, so yeah. Once again, thank you very much for taking your time on for doing this stream, and it was. I hope I didn't bother you on this
No, no, not
on
at all.
this on this time because with the different time zones. So I did not expect to be so simple to match a day and time. I will be honest.
Yeah, this is my only work. So being my own boss, I get to set my schedule, and so makes it easier for me.
Yeah. So once again, thank you very much. And yeah, I know during the podcast I've been receiving MP, like, I can't believe you're doing this with Drak. I was like, I was trying so hard to not laugh because they were, watching a movie with the popcorn. It
Yeah.
was kind of fun to receive through Discord. So yes, once again, I can't thank you enough to discuss about it on this side of the globe. It's
Yeah,
kind of fun.
no, I appreciate it. It always means a lot that other people are enjoying the content because I put so much into it. And when YouTube or Twitch or whatever starts doing their stuff, which makes it more difficult, it kind of makes me want to throw my hands up sometimes and stop. But I appreciate all the kind words. I like it when people stop me in dungeons and ask for a screenshot. It just makes me feel like it's still worth doing, even when all the other platforms make it really, really difficult.
Yeah, I can get it. So I will cut my stream here. Any last word do you have for the chat?
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a great day. God bless you.
Et moi, je vais vous dire merci beaucoup d'avoir suivi cet épisode. Et moi, je vous retrouve mercredi soir. Ciao, bye!
See it on my face, I made up my mind. Not another day, you're on borrowed time. Let me get away, yeah I'm running, yeah I'm running.